So the NHL is officially moving to Utah for the start of the 2024-2025 season. It was officially announced a few days ago, and the team has now arrived in Salt Lake. They did a huge party in the Delta Center. The place sold out. I don't know if they were actually selling tickets, but it was packed to the brim. Great energy, really exciting for the state of Utah and for the NHL. So things could not be better in Utah. The only problem is the name. It's been an ongoing discussion on Twitter over the past week or so, and there's been some good options, some not good options, and some really bad options. And let me just preface what I'm about to say with, I really like Ryan Smith. He's invested a lot of time, money, and energy into the Jazz, into BYU athletics, and just the state of Utah as a whole. That being said, this is the last person I want to be in charge of the Arizona Coyotes rebrand. I mean, we all saw what happened with the Utah Jazz over the past couple years. And I understand that he's been vocal about wanting it to be decided by the state of Utah and by the community, which is great. I mean, he does own Qualtrics, a survey company, and he should be able to weed out all the meme names and all the stuff that comes with crowdsourcing the name on the internet. But what scares me is that he said it should come down to a 6 to 8 team bracket for the fans to decide on. And how some of these names have made the cut, I have no idea. Of the 8 I've heard so far, I maybe like a couple of them. I don't love any of the names that have officially been patented, but this video we're gonna break down the names that have officially been submitted for patents and the ones that I think should be on the list. I mean, this is a very fluid situation. Ryan has come out to say he's not in any rush to pick a name. If he has to wait even till the following year, he will, which I think is not a bad idea. There's a lot on here that have officially made the list that probably shouldn't. Starting off with the Utah Venom. I really don't like it. There are rattlesnakes in Utah and stuff like that, but I don't think it does a good job at representing the state of Utah. It seems a little arena football to me. I mean, we can break down some of the concepts here. There's been plenty submitted online by some fans, and a lot of them have been coming from this Twitter account, the Colonel, Colby_Colonel on Twitter. So if you're in the Utah or you care about Utah athletics, follow this guy because he puts out some cool concept jerseys for the Jazz, and he's been putting out a lot for this hockey team. But looking at the Venom design, I mean, it's okay. The concept he put out is really good. He's very talented, but the name as a whole, it really doesn't speak to me as representing Utah or just being a really good fit. Not the worst, but really it's not at the top of my list either. Moving on, this one might be my least favorite of the bunch, the Utah Fury. Again, I hate it. I really don't know why this is on the official list. I'm not sure what it's supposed to represent as far as the state of Utah. It sounds like either a youth soccer team or a roller coaster at an amusement park. This is really a major opportunity to give the team a name that really represents the state, because the Jazz have morphed into Utah's team. You kind of think Utah Jazz and you don't really think about how weird it is. What does Jazz have to do with Utah? And there's been talks about changing the name. I think it's fine the way it is, but this is the time to really build something in Utah for Utah. The Fury is just really not meeting those criteria for me. Next up, I take that back. The Fury might not be the worst. This one has been submitted officially to be patented, the Utah Ice. I mean, I don't even know what to say, really. The Utah Ice. What's our mascot gonna be, an ice cube? I have enough faith in Utah to not vote on this one to win, but the fact that it's even on the bracket over some other ideas, doesn't bode well. Moving on. And this one is actually kind of scaring me a little bit with how much attention it's getting on Twitter. There was a poll put out and this one was leading as of right now. The Utah Yeti, or Yetis. I understand that with Utah, you're known for the snow. You want to kind of represent the snowscape, the skiing, the mountains. Utah is known for the snow, but they're not known for Yeti spottings. I do think it could be a cool mascot, like some people have said, for different names, but the Utah Yeti, no, it just can't happen. And the fact that it's getting so much support online is really scaring me. But yeah, moving on. The Utah Blizzard. And this one isn't terrible. I mean, I get it. Leaning into best snow on earth in Utah, the ski resort, the mountains, and you can have the Yeti as a mascot, a lot of people have been saying. It's not terrible. Again, it's not my favorite. The first thing I think of is Dairy Queen, so that's not great. Okay, yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about. These colors wouldn't be bad. The Dairy Queen colors, honestly, not bad. The name, can't happen. It just can't happen. Now, this one could be good on different fronts. The Utah Hockey Club, and I get a lot of people make the argument that this is more of a soccer team name than a hockey name, but it is unique. It could be cool if a team was founded back in 1950 and they were called the Boston Hockey Club, and they're still the Boston Hockey Club today. Kind of a cool name if you can make it stick and kind of get the lore behind it, but also it's good as a placeholder, kind of like what the Washington Commanders did for a year with the Washington football team, just to give them time to really think it over, make it right, even though I still think the Commanders is a terrible name, but it gives you a placeholder for the first year or two to really make sure that the name that you're picking for this team sticks and it resonates with the fan base. So if it ended up being the Utah Hockey Club for a placeholder, I wouldn't be mad. If it ended up catching on and people liked it and it was unique enough, I wouldn't hate that either. It would really depend on what the jerseys look like, what the logo looks like. If they come out with a sweet logo with it, honestly, I would be happy with it. So I know a lot of people think it's really basic or that it's too soccery. To me, it's honestly not too bad. Next up, this is a very popular one, the Utah Outlaws. It's okay. I mean, Utah is out west, so it kind of represents the wild, wild west. There's been some really decent concepts online. This one's not bad. It really depends on the color scheme. The teal and the black is kind of cool, and this kind of outlaw head isn't bad. Outlaws, again, I don't hate it. It's not my favorite. I will get to my favorites later in the video. It could be okay. Last of the ones to officially have been submitted for patent on the bracket that we're going to be voting on. I don't know if I'm going to participate. I'm not in Utah as we speak. The Utah Mammoth. And this one came on a little bit later. It kind of popped up and started to gather some traction, and now it's officially submitted for the bracket. It's not terrible. I mean, it does kind of represent the ancient history of Utah. I think there's other things that could represent it better, but we'll get to that later. But having a mammoth as your mascot could be cool. Big, intimidating animal. Some of the concepts aren't bad. The colors could be cool, kind of almost the same colors. I don't know if they can be the same colors as the coyotes, but the forest green and the maroon and black could be a good look for a mammoth. Again, it does play into the history of Utah, finding ancient fossils like that. Not bad, not bad. I wouldn't be angry about that one either. So the ones I wouldn't be angry about, Utah Hockey Club, Utah Outlaws, and the Utah Mammoth. And that's just the ones that have been officially submitted. Now we're gonna get into the ones that I think need to be submitted and hopefully are considered before the decision is made final. My personal favorite, the next one is a close second, the Utah Stags. And the concepts are just, it's beautiful. I mean, this one is my favorite by far. Utah's known for its bull elk, the colors, you could play it into the mountains and everything. You could even still use a Yeti as a mascot, or even an elk mascot would be cool. It's not risky, it's a safe option, but it's also a really solid one. I really hope this one gets submitted to be voted on and be considered by the fan base. This one's my personal favorite. I just think it very much represents Utah, and it just has staying power in my opinion. But as of right now, it's not being considered. Last one, the Utah Raptors. And you know, Eastern Utah has been known for being a huge site for a lot of dinosaur fossils. So the Utah Raptors could be a really cool logo. Like, it would be really hard to go wrong with having a raptor as your mascot. I mean, just take a look at the Toronto Raptors. They are known for having one of the best throwback jerseys in the NBA. So if you could just take a fraction of that aura and apply it to this hockey team, I don't think you can go wrong there. I really hope that they consider that, because Utah is known for having a lot of dinosaur fossils throughout the state. So the Raptor would be a perfect representation of that. It would just be a cool mascot in general. I know some people have said that there's been other Raptor teams in different sports. It doesn't really make a difference to me. But yeah, that's about it. Again, love Ryan Smith. I really hope he nails this one, because he did not sell me with the rebrand of the Utah Jazz. And I hope at some point soon we get away from this black and white and highlighter yellow color scheme that the Jazz have been rocking as of lately. So let me know what you guys think should be the name of the new hockey team in Utah. You may not know for a while what the new name is going to be, but I'm really hoping they get it right. Yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.